Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Glenn Davies. If you haven't met me before, I'm going to continue with the theme of health and what does health look like, and then we'll move on to the specifics of nutrition. What I hope you will leave today with is some simple knowledge about what healthy nutrition looks like. Now, what is health? I think the original diagnosis was the absence of disease, and even though in 1946 that diagnosis was changed by the World Health Organization, I think that's the way that a lot of health professionals still view health, as purely the absence of disease. Health is far more than just the absence of disease. So in 1946, a new definition, a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being that is not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. But that's not an ideal definition of health either, because health is not a state, it's completely dynamic, and it's not something that you attain. And it sort of means that somebody with a disability could never experience health, which is certainly not my experience. So this comes from David Beaumont's book called Positive Medicine, and I love this definition of what health is. Health is the ability to adapt and to self-manage in the face of life's challenges. I think that's a definition of what health is. So I think some of the key points in there, the ability to self-manage. I think that people need knowledge and people need skills so that they have the confidence to solve their own health problems. I think that nutrition is one of the key pillars of health. And what I love about this definition is that you can be healthy and have a disability. You know, Sophie Pascoe, she is very healthy, she has a disability. But I've been thinking recently, some of the most vibrant and healthy people that I've met recently have stage 4 cancer. You know, I'm seeing people that are pursuing knowledge, that are healthy, their skin is shining, they're self-determining, yet they have stage 4 cancer. I think this diagnosis or this definition of what health is allows that to occur, and it also means that you could be healthy and have a mental health diagnosis as well. So I love that. I think that's what health is. I think that's a wonderful definition. Now this concept here, I think we begin with wellness, then we enter this phase of compensation, and the body has an amazing ability to compensate for poor food, for example, and we can be in that compensatory phase for many years, possibly a decade, but at some point the body starts to decompensate. And if we look at diabetes or type 2 diabetes, my passion, we start metabolically well, then we start to compensate with high insulin, but the glucose levels remain normal. But having high insulin itself is a problem, and that's insulin resistance. And then we decompensate, which is high insulin and high glucose, and that's when the doctors start to respond. But shouldn't we be responding at the high insulin phase? I think that's where medicine needs to be going. I think we need to be dealing with the secondary prevention and dealing with problems before they become a problem. What I'm hoping you're going to learn tonight is if you are in this compensatory phase, you can go back to wellness very, very easily. And even if you have begun to decompensate, you can still go back to wellness with good, healthy nutrition. So nutrition is the key. So nutrition provides energy. We certainly use fats for energy, and we use carbohydrates for energy. The reason it's in brackets is you can still manage without any carbohydrates whatsoever. It provides macronutrients, particularly protein for building, and it provides vitamins and minerals for all the biochemical processes in the body. So nutrition is the key to health. Health is the ability to adapt and to self-manage. And one of the primary goals of health providers must be to empower clients with the knowledge and confidence and skills to eat well. That's why we're here tonight. Now, why has it gone all wrong? I think this is a one-sentence summary. We are eating the wrong foods up there on the left, and we are eating too often. So this idea of snacks, eating 3 meals plus snacks, having your ginger nut and Milo before you go to bed, having morning tea, afternoon tea. We're not just eating the wrong foods, but we're eating too often. Now, if you look at this slide, you can go home because I think this summarises everything. Sugar makes you hungry. Anybody experience that? Carbohydrates make you fat, and polyunsaturated vegetable oils like this stuff here, that makes you sick and inflamed. I think that is a recipe for poor health, and we're going to talk about the opposite of that tonight. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit more nuanced, and I think this is the reason that there is so much confusion about what healthy nutrition looks like. I think that there is what you should eat to stay well, but then I think when people have decompensated into poor health, there are medical nutrition therapies, sort of chemotherapy level diets, that you might utilise to fix a problem once the body has decompensated. I think that's why there's confusion, because you may not use this diet here, which is the diet to stay well, to cure diabetes or to be part of the treatment of cancer. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but I think we need to distinguish between medical nutrition therapies and the diet that you would use to stay well. And then it gets even more nuanced, depending on how far you are along that continuum between wellness and severe poor health will determine how far you might move down this nutrition ladder or this continuum. So to stay well, you might use the balanced or the healthy plate model, but if you have stage 4 cancer, you might be introducing week-long fasts. This is, I think, one of the important concepts where we'll end up. This is part of the nuance. How much do you need to restrict, or how severe does the diet need to be, is determined by what condition you're trying to treat. So if you have stage 4 cancer, you're going to be down here, but you're not going to be down here to manage early pre-diabetes.